Okay, so back to the class. This is week 3, and good job everyone on the Yep client. So the Yep is how do you feel? How do you compare the Yep and the Flick? Much more difficult, right? Yeah, but I see a lot of people able to implement the auto layout and then the delegate, and we also learn how to create the session in the table view, right? And so last time during the lab, we implement that one, and then we can review the code into the homework. Uh, so just remind something about the class. So we must come to the class and maximum 2 action with the skill. And if you want to skill for the class, please make sure that you notify me either on Facebook or Slack or email. And then for the assignment, you have one 24-hour extension, and the homework is due on Monday the following week. So again, if you break any rule, you will be kicked out of the class. Okay, so this. Nope. Just one time. Actually, you done 2 assignment. This week will be the last assignment, and then.
I wonder if like my last Thursday is counted as.
Nope.
Thank you.
Okay. So this week will be the last one, and also the hardest one. So I'll talk about that later. But now we are going to review some of the highlights for the good submission during week 2. So we have some good submission here. A lot of people I see we able to implement the session. So you learn how to build to create the session in the table view. Some people also like had a customized checkbox and the switch box, right? So and I saw some people implement the map as well. So map we will learn on week number 6. But then I see some of you already do some research and implement the map in the app. Yeah, this one is from Thiện. So we had the map there, and some also very nice UI, and a lot of feature on the requirement, and also the optional were done. Okay, you see some very cool switch box here, switch button, right? The cake, and this one the checkbox is gone. Okay, and with the map as well. Okay, so we had the link of their GitHub there. If you want to go ahead and check out how did they do that, then you can go there and check. Okay, so I would like to have some feedback on homework number 2. So were the README file clear? Anything vague or unclear on the README? That
about the way we attach the GIF link. We don't know that where we should put to display it in the README.
Okay, so you mean in the README, at the end of the README template we had you should insert the GIF there, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So as I explained before, there reason why we ask for the GIF to be attached into the README. The reason is that because your repo is public, if someone visits your repo and then they can see your GIF, meaning you just quick introduce how your repo works, right? But for the grading purpose, we ask you to also submit the link on the submission portal, right? And that one is the GIF link from image, right?
Yeah, but if we also upload the GIF to the repo, it's okay to use a kind of shortcut introduced in the repo. But I don't know how to use the link from the web.
No, you cannot use that one. You in the submission page we require to use the link from
because
image.
We have some short introduction about how we need to put the link. But I tried to put the link, but there's no.
No, it's not working. Okay, later we get the feedback and later we will review that one.
Can we get the link of the Git in the GitHub report just back to the submission page?
Right now, I think at the back end they haven't processed that one. This one will require the link from there. Okay, but we take the feedback and we'll improve that one. We know there's something. This is the first time we had a submission portal. Before we only had a GitHub, and then you create the issue and then you tag us in and then we check. But this is the first time we had a submission. Okay, so I hope everyone see the video on the walkthrough, either from me or from team. And then if you found any issue or error, then feel free to tell us. And we know for this the project starter project, it has some problem with the bot, right? Some people, if you create that one by your own, then you will have the problem with like the AF networking and BDPO OAuth not working well together, but it requires some specific version only. So this version of AF networking only work with this version of BDP OAuth. So if you try to clone the latest version, it will not work. So we will also improve that one in the later. Today I show you which is the version is work well together for you to easier to work on the Twister homework. Okay, so yeah, this is I just say the session in the table view, and then the important thing is the delegate. So make sure you understand how the delegate works and how are you going to pass data around your view controllers. Yep, some of the common issues. Okay, so we'd like to recap again what we had learned in the last 2 weeks. So in week 1, what we learned, like the table view, right? How to set up a table view, and then we had to set the delegate and data source for the table view, and how you can find the protocol for the table view data source, right? 2 things you need to remember: number of row in session, and then the cell for row at index bus, right? And then the second thing is how do we fetch the data from the API, and then we call some of the network. We serialize the JSON. We pack the data into the NS dictionary, and then we reload the data to the table view, right? And we learn how to use the CocoaPod to install the third-party library like the AF networking to utilize the function like set image with URL for the image view, right? And then in the lecture 2, this was about the auto layout, and then we had the dynamic row height. So what is the two line we need to add for the table view? Yeah, estimate row height, and then another one is table view dot row height, is like UI automatic dimension. Okay, so and then we learn about the delegate pattern and how to do the this is some of the one in the optional, but you can see this one everywhere in every app, right? Like Ubuntu refresh, and then the infinite loading, like in the YEP. So I show you one of the way to do the infinite loading, right? Okay, and that's all for the homework at week 2. So now we are going to talk about the project. We haven't talked anything about the group project, and so this is the last week we had the homework. Then starting next week, we will work on a group of 3 and work on your final project. Okay, so here I have some link. The first one is on the guideline and criteria. So if you go back to your core portal and click on the group project, you will see here the guideline and the criteria for the project. Okay, so some of the guidelines, let's make it bigger. Okay, so you can see here, the project must have at least 3 separate screens. Like this is a group project you will work forward on this project. We don't want you to submit some very simple project. Like for now, it's just one week you are able to do something like Yep, and then later you do something like Twister. Then it doesn't make sense. For the final project, you work forward on that one and you just submit something very simple. So we want at least the app should have at least 3 main screen. When I say 3 main screen, I mean don't count in like the login screen or the sign up screen. Okay, login screen just few button, right? And then your app must be data driven, meaning we have some data, some network code, and we have depend on your data and how your work should behave, depend on the data from the user, right? And this is it requires the app to use some RESTful API. So this one is up to you. You can find some API from the whatever the server. Some like we used to use the movie database API, the Yep API, and later today we learn the Twister API. But if you don't want to use the API, you can write the backend yourself. We will also learn about that one. If you want to build your own database, and then you can write the backend by yourself and you pull the data and you upload the data directly from there. Okay, and we have some kind of the local persistent. Persistent we will talk about that later in this call. But somehow we need to save your data, either to local to your file or using the SQLite or save the data to your database. If you choose to use your own database. Okay, so this is some of the requirement for your project. And then this is, if you go to the portion below, we have the criteria. So this is some of the criteria we will use. The judges will use this one to grade your project at the final demo day. Okay, so take a look on that one. And something like the story. What is your storyline? Right. Some of the main feature of your app, and then some optional feature. So this one is important. Remember, we have 4 weeks to implement your app. But then, for the requirement story, you should put something there that you must finish to have some kind of the basic version of your app. And then based on your team experience, your team free time, you need to set the requirement so that you can finish it. Don't put your scope is too large, and then at the end you don't have anything to show, right? And then the rest, like you can have some more good to have feature, like some optional feature. It's good if you have that one, and if you don't have that one, you still have something to show to the audience that hey, your team built the app, right? And then think about the market. Is there any competitor in the market, like some idea similar to you? And if you build your app, why people should use your app, right? And then what is the reason that people can keep using your app, not just they download one time, they use that one for 1-2 days and then throw it away, right? That's one we call habit, how we form the habit from user so that they keep open your app again and again, not just one time. And yeah, this is the scope. And then because this class is more on the technical, so we will this will be a great portion for your app. So people, the judges will based on the technical, some of the how advanced your technique, like how much skill or how much like the latest technology or something you use in your app, right? Okay, so this one, go ahead and read through that one. And if you have any question, just ask the question on the Slack. So this one, if you have any question, you can ask directly in the general, then people see that one and people can know for the general idea about the app and some of the key issue with the app. Okay, so before the class I send to you some of the link. I want if we go to with 3 here, we had the link for the lecture slide. I only upload the slide. This is the link for the classmate, and where is it? Okay, so just a link for people to get to know each other, because like we just had 2 labs, right? We work with just very few people. You may not know all the people in this class, so I just list down here. Like we had 23 right now, 2 drop. So feel free to modify this one to add in anything that you want people to know about you, and then why they want you in their group. Okay, and then I talk too much. Now your time to talk. So we have the group project. I haven't seen anyone key in anything here. We have some project from previous class. Okay, some cool idea from previous class. Some of the idea were implemented to be their final project, but some still there, just the idea only and just bending there. So later I can mark in this one which one is implemented. Then you don't want to repeat that one again. Okay, so try some other idea. You can go ahead and improve this idea, copy the idea and improve that one at your idea, or use your own idea. Okay, so now I would like to have the group activity. So like we have, I would like to have how many groups? 23 people. 22 people. So how about forming a group of 4? So we have a group of 4, and then we share your idea together. Any idea. If one of you had the idea, you share with your friend, and then we discuss some of the features, some of the main feature of that idea. What would you like to implement in your project?
So in the group that we will work on.
No, it's not the group for the final. We just people to think of some of the idea, and then if this group has any idea, then feel free to write here. So type here. So we have 15 minutes to talk about this one, and later I will review this list to see if anything interesting. Okay, so feel free to form a group of 4. Grab some people next to you. Hey, if you already know him and you want to talk to someone else, this is your chance to get to know other. So don't every time talk to one guy.
So the final is how many people in the group?
So the final project we will form a group of 3. Maximum is 4, but we prefer the group of 3. And no group should be 2 people. Okay, so you will not work on a group of 2. Okay, just grab someone, which one you want to talk with, and then just form a group of 4, and then share some idea you already have, and then share your idea in this Google Sheet.